Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another pre-release Swiss Fate Reforged draft. Alright, Crucible of the Spirit Dragons, the rare. Seems way too narrow to take here, so let's look at something else. Okay. Abzan Beastmaster, I do want to try this card out. I think this card, considering its green card advantage, is probably pretty good. 5 mana, 2/3. Lets you bolster. Whenever creature you control the Ooh. Yeah, this guy seems crazy good. Not only does he come in and do something right away, he's a 5 mana 2/3, which I guess is expensive, but that guy seems really good. I think we got to take this Elite Scale Guard. I like that guy. Also, Reach of Shadows, though. Good removal. I'm still thinking this guy is probably pretty insane. Comes in, buffs something, and then immediately makes all of your other guys have like a cool ability. Alright, well, I missed out on it last time, but I don't think I'm going to miss out on it this time. Yeah, so last time I just read Lightform as Enchanted Creature has Flying and Lifelink. I skipped that part in the middle that says manifest the top card of your library and attach Lightform to it. So yes, Lightform is legitimately a good card, and I should not have missed that. What else do we have here? Oh, this is interesting. So it's like another card that works well with the Elite Scale Guard. I kind of like that. Also, Aven Surveyor, which I do still think is a very good card. But let's take the Lightform this time. Definitely want to try that out. Seems pretty good, right? Let's take it. All right. Next, what do we got? We've got Mob Rule. Yeah, isn't this card insane? Gain control of all creatures power 4 or greater. Or gain control. This card is insane. How could this go third pick? This seems so bomby. I'll just steal all your creatures and then I'll kill you with them. I mean, granted, they could have a mix of, power 4 or greater and 3 or less, but Mob Rule seems absolutely bonkers. What else do we have here, though? 3 mana. Oh, okay. Well, I guess this does work pretty well with what we got, I got to admit. But this does seem pretty bomby, and white-red still leaves me open to both Mardu and Jeskai, which is pretty good. I do like this Outcast, though. The fact that it gives you a little flyer potentially works well. This card's too powerful to pass up, I think. Steal all your creatures? Are you kidding me? You know how many times in cons it goes to the late game? This card is like insane. All right, Barricade, Flash Defender. Oh, that's kind of interesting. When it dies, Bolster. This guy seems good. I like that. That's going to work well with the Scale Guard too, when it bolsters at least. Dragonbale Monk seems good. I like Vigilance and Prowess. This guy seems good offensively and defensively. Bathe in Dragonfire, though, straight up removal, does seem good, I got to admit, if we're going into red territory here. It is a sorcery speed one, but 4 damage for 3 mana is pretty nice. I think it's between Sky Captain and Bathe in Dragonfire. I don't know, man. Bolster is a good mechanic. I've been impressed with. I only dealt with it once, but it wrecked me pretty good. But I do like. Ugh, that's tough. I'm going to take the Bolster. I'm just going on a hunch that this is going to be really good, because I do think that Bolster is pretty insane. All right, Dragon Rage. Add your mana pool for each attacking creature you control. I guess it's interesting. Mardu Scout. He's cool. 2 mana, 3/1. Pretty good. Fierce Invocation. Yeah, that guy's good too, actually. Here's a Jeskai card, though. Cunning Strike. 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to a player and draw a card. Actually, this seems really good. I wouldn't mind going Jeskai. We seem like we can do some Jeskai beats stuff. But if we do Jeskai beats, maybe the Mardu Scout's the better one. It's a little bit color intensive, but then again, so is Cunning Strike. And if I play Jeskai, I probably want Prowess. I'm going to take this Cunning Strike on a hunch that it's a good card because it seems pretty good. Kill a Morph, deal 2 damage to a player, and draw a card. That's like pretty insane ability mashup, actually. Collateral damage, sack a creature, deal 3 damage to a creature or player. That's not bad, actually. Especially if you have like this bolster thing you can do. Or just in response to your removal, sack that creature, kill one of yours. Not bad. This thing gives flying as long as you control a red or white permanent. Yeah, that's, admittedly, that is pretty good. Right into being. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Manifest one, put the other on top or bottom. Yeah, this actually seems good too. Let's take the Bathing Dragonfire though, because that's some good removal, and let's probably try to stick to red, white, and then splash blue, because I do actually think Cunning Strike is probably a worthy splash, but we'll have to find out. So this is green or blue permanent. I don't have any blue permanents yet to give it flash, but otherwise it's just a 5 mana 4/4, which isn't bad. There is Right into Being. Mardu Rune Mark is fine, not amazing. Warflare actually seems pretty good since it's like a little bit of a combat trick as well. Goblin Heel Cutter attacks target you can't block this turn. I kind of want to try this Warflare out. For some reason I've got a big... I guess this guy is good though. Get rid of a blocker is pretty good. I do like that Warflare too though. Jeez. I'm going to take this Heel Cutter, though. Getting rid of a blocker is pretty insane. And it can dash, too, so it can even do it cheaper. Another Cunning Strike, really? I don't think I'm overestimating this card. I mean, granted, it's 5 mana, but instant, kill a morph, 2 to a player, draw a card. That's like a bunch of really good things, right? I guess we'll find out. I've got a good feeling about it, but maybe we'll see if I'm overestimating it. We'll find out. All right, 1 mana, 1/1 flyer. It also is a warrior, not to be overlooked, but not very important if we're going Jeskai, which I think we are. We still could end up going Mardu, though, in which case I think Skirmisher is probably pretty awesome. Defiant Ogre, you can come in, get a counter, so it's a 4/6 for 6, or destroy an artifact and a 3/5. Decent. Not horrible, but not amazing either. Let's take the Skirmisher, just in the off chance that we end up warrior-based, which is still possible. Gore Swine, 3 mana, 4/1. I mean, it's not bad. I like the Alpine Grizzly, but the Grizzly also has 2 toughness, which is quite a bit different. Abzan Advantage is probably a good sideboard card at the very least. I mean, also, at worst, it's a combat trick. I'm going to take the Gore Swine, though, just because I'd like to get another creature, I think. All right, Smoldering Efreet. I mean, it's a 2 mana 2/2. I don't like that's got a disadvantage. I think we can do better than that 2-drop. There's also Erishan Cleric, which is good against aggressive decks, but I wanted to try this Warflare out because I actually think this card's good. Wait, what's the Skullkeeper doing? Oh, he's better for Sultai. Okay. Let's take this Warflare. I kind of like it. Okay, so 5 mana 3/5 versus Jeskai Barricade. Well, I'm going to take the Barricade. I don't want to main deck it, but I think this is actually a reasonable sideboard card to have. Could actually take the Mardu card too, but I'm going to take the Barricade. I think it's a reasonable sideboard card. What's the Renowned Weaponsmith do? It can only do it to cast artifacts. Well, that's not going to help too much. Search your library for a card named Heart Piercer Bow or Vial of Dragon. Yeah, that's not that insane. All right, let's take the Dragon Rage, but I don't think we're necessarily playing it. All right, collateral damage I'll take. There's a chance we play it too. I don't actually think that card's very, very bad. All right, so decent start. What are we looking for? Well, we still could be Mardu, potentially. Ooh, Master of Pearls is a great open. I love this card. And it's just very powerful in general. What else is good in here for us, at least? Well, if we end up Jeskai, the Student would be good, and Warden of the Eye would be good. If we end up Mardu, I'd like probably the Scavenger or the War Shrieker. I'd like the War Shrieker anyway. But yeah, Master of Pearls is absolutely bonkers. I love that card. Sage of the Inward Eye. Well, that's a good reason to be Jeskai, I would say. That is a balmy, very balmy card. I like Burnaway as well. And Windscarred Crag would be very helpful. But yeah, well, let's just take the Sage. Be happy with that. We could use some 2-drops, I admit. But hopefully they will come in time. So I think at this point we're just an established Jeskai deck, because Sage of the Inward Eye is just a very strong card. Okay. Arc Lightning, I think, is still really good. It's also Wind Scout, which prowess in a Jeskai deck is certainly good. There's also Swiftwater Cliffs, which I would like, but I think we're just going to take the Arc Lightning. The reason that I don't want to take the Wind Scout, because I do want to take the Wind Scout, but we got to minimize blue considering we have 0 pieces of fixing currently. So let's just take the removal spell that is actually very good. It's just very good. At first I was underwhelmed by this card, but now I've come to like it actually more. You can get some pretty solid 2-for-1s, and it's just a good buy you time sort of card. Let's take the Tranquil Cove here. I'm really just passing up on a War Shrieker and like a Mystic and a Bringlow. So fixing for our splash color seems very beneficial here. Currently have 16 cards in the deck. We need 6 playables. I'd like some cheap spells to really add to this deck. I mean, Jeskai Elder is good, but I think we're just going to go the Bloodfire Expert since it's one of our main colors and it has prowess. So I admit we'd like our curve to be lower, but keep in mind that Lightform is also a creature too, so that's going to help. All right, we can take the Valley Dasher. It is a 2-drop. Fairly aggressive, but I think Bloodfire Expert's still better. I mean, yeah, we need some 2-drops, but we don't have to be a hyper-aggressive Jeskai deck. We can also be a value Jeskai deck, because we have some excellent late-game spells. Take a look at our late game. We've got Sage to bring us back. We have, Lightform to bring us back. We've got this Master of Pearls, which is excellent late game. It is Mob Rule, which is excellent late game. So let's just take some prowess dudes for now and be satisfied with that. Could take the Take Up Arms. Works well with prowess. Gives us some more creature stuff to do. Works well with War Flare. Otherwise, we're taking a Tracker. Could take a Firehoof Cavalry, but I'm not a big fan of that card. Usually, you can get it last pick. I'm going to take the Take Up Arms, just on a hunch that it will play well for us, but we do have a lot of 5-drops, I admit. Master the Way is quite good. Certainly worthy of a splash, I would say. Although we do have all these 5-drops, I guess that could be an issue. But otherwise, what am I taking? Like a Salt Road Patrol over Cavalry? Yeah, those aren't that good. Do have a lot of 5-drops, though. I think I'd still rather play Master over Take Up Arms, to be honest. I'm going to take it. I know. Could be dangerous. Geez, and another 5-drop? How do I get all these 5-drops? Warden of the Eye, what am I going to do with all these 5-drops? Oof. I don't have to run both Cunning Strikes. I don't have to run Take Up Arms. All right, let's for now, let's sideboard. Let's put a couple on the side. I do think Warden of the Eye has enough upside where I want to take it. Yes, we have a lot of 5-drops. I understand that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. All right, let's take this guy. He's not that good, but that's all right. He's playable. So basically our deck just needs... What does our deck need? It needs some cheap stuff, I admit. Oh, Tabled Swiftwater Cliffs. That's pretty amazing for us. It's going to help the mana base quite a bit. But like I said, we're not an aggro beatdown deck. More of a win through value deck, which I'm perfectly content with. All right, we can take the Sandbar. I mean, honestly, I don't think we're playing it because it doesn't seem good on the splash. I'm going to hate this Ponyback Brigade because it should not be that late. And even though we could play the Bloodfire Mentor, I would prefer not to. So currently our deck only needs 2 playables to be a deck. And we could certainly go for some upgrades in here. Like the weakest, we probably don't want to end up playing this Rune Mark. Not that it's bad, it's just when you have a low creature count deck, it's not exactly what you're looking for. Although it is good with prowess. Jeez, and we open Flying Crane Technique. Well, yeah, Valley Dasher is a good card, but yeah, Flying Crane Technique almost reads just win the game, so I'm going to take it. We have a lot of bomby Jeskai cards and not enough creatures, but I'm not overly concerned yet. I do believe we can find some more creatures and really make this deck come together. Keep in mind, this deck is bonkers if we resolve Flying Crane Technique with like a Bloodfire Expert or a Gore Swine Out or something like that. Canyon Lurkers is also very good with Flying Crane Technique. We could just take the Deflecting Palm, but we kind of are on the hunt for more creatures. I do like Deflecting Palm. It's a cool card. I've certainly beat people with Deflecting Palm. I've also lost against it in circumstances where I was sure it was impossible to lose. We do need some creatures, though. Aven Skirmisher is also looking pretty underwhelming in here. It's just a cheap 1/1. We're not beat down anymore. I almost want to cut the Skirmisher. Even though, so I guess we need more creatures. Canyon Lurkers is a fine one. Especially with Flying Crane Technique. Turns into 10 damage. So no one ever expects you to unmorph at 4 mana either. There's a chance that we table Deflecting Palm. I admit, not the greatest, but there's a chance we table Canyon Lurkers too. But I'd just rather have the Canyon Lurkers right now with this deck. We just need more creatures. All right, Heart Piercer is an excellent card. It's also Windscarred Crag and Jeskai Student. Student is quite good. Heart Piercer is just too good to pass up, though, I think. We have enough 3-drop creatures where we can pretty consistently resolve Heart Piercer. Hoping to table Windscarred Crag, Barrage of Boulders, or Student. Boulders is actually very good in this deck. But yeah, we'll happily take a Heart Piercer, which is like a nice little removal spell. Get a Manus Rider? Kidding me? Love it. This card is insane. Absolutely taking that. All right, so next cut is... What is the next cut? Probably... I don't know yet. I have to figure that out. All right, finally, get a playable 2-drop. All right, we're going to take this Leaping Master over the Outpost, which should be fine in this deck. Hordeling Outburst would be fine too, but yeah, we actually want a 2-drop creature where we can use its ability, and it's in one of our main colors, so let's just go ahead and slam that dude. Much love for him. Tormenting Voice, something to do early if we have too much expensive stuff, I guess. I already have to make a cut. I guess I would like to cut this tracker. Keep in mind, we still have 14 creatures because Light Form is technically a creature. I could just take the Wind Scout. I mean, yeah, I can make it work. It's got prowess. Can also take the Witness. Wind Scout flies, but it's our splash color. It's probably just the pick anyway since it evades and has prowess and we're in Jeskai. It makes sense. Otherwise, I do like Tormenting Voice too, but yeah, let's take the Wind Scout. All right. Stubborn Denial for the old sideboard. Yeah, I actually like Stubborn Denial out of sideboard, especially in a deck that's got enough 4-power creatures to support it. What does this guy do again? Oh yeah, the 4-mana 2/2. Maybe we cut collateral damage. Not that it's a horrible card, because it's not, but I think I'd rather keep our creature count high enough to support all of this stuff. This deck actually looks okay now. Let's take the Highland Game for the sideboard, or the Stubborn Denial, rather. And we have the Firehoof Cavalry option, but once again, we are not an aggro deck. We are more of a win through value deck. All right, we can take this Salt Road Patrol. It's also Bring Low, which is removal. Not amazing removal, but removal nonetheless. Maybe I'd take it, but what would I play it over? I don't know. Maybe I don't play Warflare in this deck because I already have like Flying Crane Technique, but I don't know, man. I think I actually just hate the Mardu Charm. I don't need any of that other stuff, and I don't want to play against First Strikers for my X1s. I'll take the Cranial Archive. It's a fine sideboard card to have against... I mean, there is Swift Kick, which is good with prowess, but not good. Not that great with our prowess. All right, we're going to take the Archive as a card against... Sultai decks or something. All right, we did table the Deflecting Palm. Well, Deflecting Palm is certainly powerful enough to take. Whether or not we can make it work, we'll find out. All right, Barrage of Boulders. We already have the Flying Crane Technique, but I'm still going to take Barrage of Boulders. I'm going to sideboard it at the very least. It is very good with 4-power guys. Maybe we don't have enough to support it, but it's an option. Same thing with this Goblin Slide. Whirling Outburst is very playable. Are we going to take it and play it? I'm not sure yet. We'll have to figure that out, but I'll take it for now. Lens of Clarity. All right, Whirling Outburst is much better in a deck where you have Trumpet Blast, but we do have Warflare, which does work well with it. And we also have that Take Up Arms, which is also good. But we're going to have to figure out exactly what we want to do with this deck. I believe we are playing 18 lands just because we've got a lot of powerful stuff to do in this deck. Having Manus Rider, Sage of the Inward Eye, and Flying Crane Technique is pretty incredible. I do really want to try this Warflare out. I think this is an insane trick, actually. I think this is just going to be one of those cards that a lot of people are going to be playing soon. Master is really like a 3-drop. Wind Scout seems awkward in here, but we'll make it work. We're going to play 18 lands, like I said. We have a ton of 5-drops, but Lurkers is really like a 3-drop. Sky Captain, Heel Cutter. I think I still like this Heel Cutter. Getting rid of a blocker is pretty insane. It can be really beneficial. I mean, it is a 4-mana 3/2. What would I want to play instead, though? Like, I don't know. Nothing else is really standing out as too insane. I do want to play 18 lands. Warflare with Bloodfire Experts is pretty insane. What do these turn into? 6/3s? 6/3? God, that is good. That's tough to deny. I still like the mob rule too. I mean, honestly, on those stalled board states, mob rule essentially reads just take your team and win. I feel like. Can't cut that. I don't really want to cut a creature. We do have Flight Form, which is also a creature. Got to keep that in mind. So we really have 15 creatures. And Light Form has the added bonus of being even more bonkers than Jeskai since it triggers prowess and gives you a creature. It's like the best. All those manifest cards are like the best of both worlds when it comes to the decks in this format, I think. All right, I really do have to figure out a cut. I wanted to try this Cunning Strike out. I do still think that's good, but admittedly, it seems like an easy cut right now, and we just have so many other powerful spells that we want to do, and I don't want to cut any of my creatures, really. How much stuff do I have that interacts well with Scale Guard? Well, it interacts well with itself, but how many cards do I have that give +1/+1 counters? I do have the Sky Captain, which does... Is that it? Alright, well, he's still good enough to play. I'm not gonna... I mean, look at that. He bolsters when he comes in. This guy's insane. Cunning Strike versus Warflare. I want to try the Warflare out. I can't cut it. Not with the prowess guys we have. I gotta leave it. So I guess we are gonna cut Cunning Strike because I do think Master the Way is likely better. They both draw cards. Master the Way has potential to do like 5 to a creature or 5 to the face. This only does 2 to a creature, 2 to the face. So I guess Cunning Strike is worse than Master the Way in most instances, but not for our deck. All right. This is an exciting deck to try. We ended up with like just tons of good rares and a good creature count. A little bit slow, but we have like insane bonkers creatures here, so I actually like this deck quite a bit. All right, let's combine some stuff here. Sort by color. So we'll take a look at our grand total blue spells. So we definitely need mostly red, and then white, and then blue. So I should probably have 5 blue sources at least, which they also say. And then this would be 6 white sources. Well, I don't like that. And then 9 red sources. Well, I do kind of like 9, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with that. So I think we got to do 7 white sources, 8 red sources, and 5 blue sources. Yeah, so our mana base is a bit lacking. It's a bit dangerous of mana base, admittedly, but I think this is going to be probably what's going to work best for us. Because I do think we need to resolve blue early if we want to get this Wind Scout and Manus Rider online. So 5 seems like a reasonable number for that. We definitely need red early, but thankfully we didn't get any super color intensive red spells until super late with Mob Rule. So that is one perk. Let me take one more last look at all of our... Alright, so not hyper aggressive, but very value based, and I like that. And we have as I've said a couple times, we have an excellent late game plan. Sage is a great way to bring yourself back in the game. Flying Crane technique is just like on stalled board state, just reads win the game. Mob Rule I feel like is the same thing. So we have these super powerful spells for the late game. So if we don't get a quick start, we are still very well set up to survive late. We have Arc Lightning and Bathe in Dragonfire, Master the Way, good removal. I love the Warden. Yeah, I think this deck looks good, man. I like it. I think it looks good. All right, running it like this. We'll see you round 1.